Oh, and we are live. Welcome to the Afterburn Soccer Show. I'm your host, Nathan. You can follow me at Nathan J. Hill. Join this Monday off. But now joining you all, though some of you, I'm sure, watching the Mavs post-season run, do or die tonight against the Celtics. But welcoming also my buddy Jose. Still, we haven't gotten the camera situation worked out, but he's with
Yeah.
us. He's with
What's
us.
up, everybody?
You can follow him at El Chico Carmona, and yeah, we can have a different mood than last week, even as we were just filled with questions, filled with uncertainty, as Nico Estevez was let go as head coach of FC Dallas, and Peter Luccin stepped in as interim head coach and had his first game in charge of FC Dallas, and it was a 2-0 victory. A big win at home to at least give fans something to be positive and excited about. 2 goals, one from Jesus Ferreira on the penalty kick you just saw in his nice little dance, and then another towering header from Tafari, who also earned a Player of the Week honors, I think, the first 11 of the week, including Martin Paz for his 8 saves for a clean sheet at home. And so, we're going to get to Peter Luccin's post-game comments, which I think are worthy for us to dissect. But, it was a big win. I guess a team that struggles on the road, St. Louis, just struggles on the road. But you got to take those opportunities and to sort of start fresh, get that interim head coach bounce. Oh, it feels a lot better, doesn't it, Jose?
Absolutely. I mean, way to start off the new regime, right? It's nice to be talking about a victory. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yes, there's been some bleak weeks in there. I didn't even mean to rhyme on that, but it's been tough. And really, probably the first kind of thing is, a lot of folks were, well, I don't want to say a lot, but some people were wondering if the new head coach would institute a new formation, and maybe he will at some point. But with only a week in charge to communicate with the guys, he didn't shift far away from what Nico had been doing. So it was a 3 center backs, and a very familiar formation. But it did look like he found enough tweaks to get more out of the team. How did you feel about the overall performance, Jose?
Well, I mean, it was mixed. In all honesty, they looked really good for the first half, but the start of the second half had the team looking like Nico Ball all over again. Uh, enough for us to be happy, but still be concerned. Let's face it, a lot of us when we saw the formation, we were like, oh well, this is not what we were hoping for. But like you said, not only are they familiar with the formation, he also has 3 games in a week span, so a little over a week span with the game on Wednesday, now the game on Saturday. So you think he's probably going to want to ease into a new formation if that is his intention. So a little surprised that he stuck with the 3-5-3, but at the same time, you saw that the team played differently. They pressed more, which this is a good pressing team. They have been. They just Nico just preferred not to take advantage of that and to have the team come out and press more, especially at home, where you would want to see them press more. It was nice. I mean, if it wasn't for the early second half performance, we'd all be gushing right now. But I think that those first 20, 30 minutes of the second half is keeping everybody grounded.
Yeah, they looked like a team, and we'll hear from Sebastian Letjet in a moment. I know when a coach is fired, it doesn't necessarily mean that the players were like, "Oh, good, that guy's out of here. Now we can really play" or something. But it is this message to the team of like, man, things are really bad, and everybody needs to wake up. Everybody needs to fight, and it gives younger players and other guys who are on the fringes an opportunity to fight their way back into minutes, to prove that to a new coach that they have what it takes to contribute to get out of this sort of slump. So I think some of that is what we saw too. I mean, I think definitely this week was difficult for the team. A lot of conversations, a lot of uncertainty, but it probably gave them all a wake up call of like, hey, it is this bad. It's not just, hey, let's wait for one more week. I mean, maybe Nico would have won if he had been given another week, because St. Louis is terrible on the road. But the players played like that they had woken up a bit, had realized that they've got a job to do. Their jobs are on the line too, and they don't want to let another coach down. And so they found even just some of that extra energy, some of the extra fight, that verticality to get forward was enough to take care of St. Louis, even though there were still moments of where things weren't great. And so let's go ahead and jump in here, Peter, because I thought that for his first post game media, he set the tone really well after the match with how he described the work ahead.
I need to be honest. I know it's a win, but we need to do better. We need to do better. I can check a little bit the stats, and he's not good enough, but I want to say something too. All the work that the boys put out there is a high level. It's a high level, so now we need just to help them to understand that. I know that we have been talking just about verticality for those past 4 days, but we need to read better the game. It's my job too, to help them with the staff. So waste time is just a process. Today was very important to get back and have that energy. That is very important, and that commitment, and we saw that. So with that is no doubt. I'm very pleased with that. Yeah, I'm very happy.
So he says, hey, it's a win, but we need to do better. What were your reactions there to Peter's comments?
I love his comments. I mean, it's him owning up to the fact that, like I said, that the team had moments that had us worried. And I mean, let's face it, they allowed 8 shots on target, and that's just not good enough. And I believe he sees that. I mean, there's a reason that Martin Paz is, on the team of the week, and that's because even though the team played better, they still had stretches of the match where they looked extremely vulnerable and in danger of conceding a goal or two. But having Paz there to save us yet again kept this a winning match. But he's right. He sees it. He's owning up to it. And I think as fans, we like to hear that. To hear, hey, we got to win, but we can do better. And I think that's a good start.
Everything we've understood about Nico is that he's a guy full of love, and he loves his players, and he believes the best. I think Steve Davis pointed out, and he's spoken of this often, Nico did, that even in a bad game, he would try to find something positive in the film to show his players, to say, hey, keep your head up. There were some positive things you did too, even when you made mistakes. And so I think the players obviously value that. You value someone who invests in you and stuff. But sometimes, we need someone to kick us in the pants a little bit and help us face the truth and understand where we need to get better. So I like that balance. I like that he didn't come out and say, I'm going to lead this team to a championship or whatever. But he's like, hey, we have a lot of work ahead of us, a lot of things to do, a lot of tweaks, a lot of players still need to step up, which is what Dallas is going to need if they want to get to the postseason at this point and then go further. They're going to need to find unlock that next ability. I mean, how did you think of his formation lineup, his choices, including Sebastian Letjet in the midfield? Did you have any qualms with it? Any issues with any of the lineup choices?
I think when we first saw the lineup, we had questions, but Delgado continued to play as a winger, which we all know he's not. And then we all saw the Jet on there. And I mean, at first glance, it wasn't anything to get excited about. I mean, it was rather worrisome. Gonzalez in the middle. It it, it made us worry. But then seeing the way he asked Leggett to play, and Leggett rewarding him by having probably his best match of the season, in all honesty, and it, it's just you liked the way the team played under him for other than the start of the second half. But I want to address that. The team looked under siege for large stretches of the second half, and if this was Nico would have brought in defensive-minded players to basically close off the game and walk out of there with a 1-0 win. So to see him bring in Siki and Farrington, two offensive-minded players, and replacing, I mean, Jesus, you got to rest him for the midweek match, but then replacing Delgado with Siki, an actual attacking player, you're holding on to a 1-0 lead and you replace a defensive-minded player with an attacking-minded player. You would not have seen that under Nico, and it shows a change in mentality. It shows a manager that says, hey, we may be winning 1-0, but we're playing like we're losing 1-0, and that needs to change. We're going to put this game away, but we're not going to hold on to a 1-0 lead. We're going to put this game away by going for the win, which is something that all the fans have been complaining about Nico. Even in wins, he's played it safe. Once you get the lead, it was time to kill the game, hold on to the lead, hold on for dear life. The team looked under siege many times. And I think that is something that has everybody excited, seeing that his response to the team being under siege for the majority of the first half of the second half was to actually do something about it, bring in attacking players. Siki is one of those players that clearly has benefited from a new manager, a manager that's going to put him forward in an attacking position. As we all know, he's a defensive liability. So why play him in a position where he's asked to defend? Push him forward where he excels, and Siki rewarded him with his play. And I think he's a guy that played well enough that we're expecting him. I know I am expecting him to get more minutes. And Farrington, who has looked great, by the way, when he's been given time to play. It was nice to see him come in and relieve Jesus so early. I expected Jesus to play the entire match, but this is what you want from Farrington. Farrington has played well enough. Why not bring him in early? Give Jesus a rest. Maybe in the Wednesday match, maybe you bring him in for Musa early. Give Musa the rest, and so on and so forth, and you have that young, aggressive player who should have had a goal, by the way. And it's I feel bad for the kid. That should have been his first MLS goal, and Musa, of course, played a little magic there to make it happen. I'm just kind of sad that didn't count. It should have been a 3-0 win.
Yeah, and Luccin did mention Siki like 4 or 5 times in the post game of just the energy that Siki brought, the fight, and so you love that. You love a player getting called out for an example for the rest of the team. But yeah, maybe that means Siki gets a start Wednesday night. We'll touch upon that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump over to Sebastian Leggett. I enjoyed his comments, his reflection after the match, after what was a busy week.
Team win tonight.
Yeah.
How important was hitting the first one?
Oh, this is amazing. It feels amazing. It was a team win. I mean, honestly, credit to Peter. He prepared us so well for this week. Obviously, it's an emotional week. You never like to see a coach be let go, and it's everyone's fault. It's not just one person, and but as far as our preparation and Peter taking over and his assistant John, I mean, he prepared us. The preparation was flawless. So. We were up for it today, and now we move on to Minnesota, and it's another challenge, and we're ready for it.
What was different out there for the team tonight to get the win?
think just mentality. You know, I think we all know we have the ability and the talent that's in this dressing room. It's just yes, there was just something that was lacking, and this week we worked on it, and I think it showed out there.
How important is it to carry the momentum from
Let's the change in mentality, and yeah, we're live during the Mavs game. We just try to keep this thing steady on Monday nights, and sometimes that's it's not great. It's not great for Monday Night Football and other things that Dallas people like to watch. But yeah, I got to check in on the score here, see how the Mavs are doing, because I know it wasn't looking good earlier. Ooh, it's not looking great, but there's time. There's time. Yeah. Celtics up like 43-30. All right. But yeah, you heard Sebastian there, a change of mentality. I mean, is that a good enough way to frame it? What we saw different from this team?
Yeah, it looked like a team that was playing with different mentality for not, of course, except for that one stretch. And you saw it. Like I said, the subs regained that momentum they had in the first half. They had a lot of momentum in the first half. They lost it to start out the second half. And as I said, Nico would have been happy to try to close that game out with a 1-0. But bringing in attacking players to regain that to relieve the pressure that St. Louis is bringing by simply attacking them in return, that shows a new mentality. And it'll be a while before we can tell if that mentality will follow it to the road. But at home, I know as a fan, I want to see the team attacking at home and not playing a defensive-minded game plan. So, yes, I'm very happy with it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk really quick about North Texas. North Texas had a week off, but they are going to be back this week, and I need to make sure I have their schedule. Yeah, they're coming up this Saturday at home against Austin FC2. The big news was that Michelle stepped up as the new head coach for North Texas. So we have a lot of questions too, not just about Peter Luccin, but now about the future of North Texas soccer as Michelle steps up. And we'll likely kind of keep things rolling. He has a great setup there already. He knows the team well. Yeah, Jose, go ahead. I think I turned my speakers way down. Jose?
I'm just saying I'm kind of excited to see what he does with North Texas. I think Michelle's a fan favorite. We all love the guy, and we've all known that it was just a matter of time before he got a shot to head up North Texas. We just didn't think it'd be this early, so I think there's a little level of excitement to see what he does with the team.
Anyway, thank you for the feedback for the live show. Yeah, we're just left with a lot of questions. I will speak with Michelle on Thursday. We'll do a little pre-game for that game on Saturday, and so look for some video. My mic is picking up your voice. I see something's up with that. That is weird. Like I have echo. Anyway, I thought I figured it out. What I'll do is I'll bring my mic close like that, and we'll see if that helps a little bit. Because I don't have my headphones with me handy either. All right, let's close out the show. Let's go ahead and look to Minnesota as FC Dallas prepares to play Minnesota on Wednesday night. So a full week of action, and we get to see how Peter evolves. Although there's not a lot of time to add, tactics tweaks. So we're probably going to see something similar to Saturday night as Minnesota United FC come to town, who are, by the way, have like 16 healthy players and are using guys who have played more minutes for Minnesota United FC2 than for their first team. So there is an opportunity for Dallas to get another 3 points here. I hope they rotate some guys as well. I hope Peter sees this as an opportunity for some other guys just to to try them out, to give them an opportunity to show what they can do with a new head coach. Let's go ahead and listen to Peter talking about the match on Wednesday.
Well, no, first, I think that we need to recover after that huge effort against St. Louis because the boys have been running a lot. The fact that we spend so much time with the ball, so that's the outcome. No? So we need to recover first to see a little bit. We already saw a little bit who's going to be available, who's going to repeat, or if we have some addition to that team. So it's a thing that we, with the staff, we are thinking about it. It's going to be a very important game.
Let me tell you something. On the Wednesday match, rotation or not, as a fan, I don't want to repeat of the last Minnesota United match, the match that got Nico fired, by the way. So, rotated or not, we need to see a team that is going to press high, just like we saw this last match, and hopefully they can sustain an aggressive stance for the majority of the match, as opposed to what we saw this last match, where they were basically under siege for about 20 minutes or so to start the second half. We need to see a complete game, a complete match from this team, which we have yet to see all season. That's one of the biggest complaints, that they've never been able to put two cohesive halves where they've looked good. They've looked good for one half or stretches of another half. We've yet to see this team play a full 90 minutes, and that's what we want to see.
Right. And I think what we'll see Minnesota. Yeah. But I think we'll see Minnesota do the same thing they did last time, which was they're going to try to get a goal early. They're going to swarm and look for just something, to get something, and then they're going to sit back and just try to make life miserable for us. So it's important that Dallas just start strong, wear this team out, bring on plenty of fresh legs, and go from there. And I think they need this 3 points. To have 6 points from this week so far would be a huge boost just to getting things back in a really strong direction. If the team struggles, then maybe that little interim head coach bump will not have lasted long. But
yeah, I believe anything other than 3 points is going to be viewed as a disappointment. It doesn't really matter how that goes. I mean, as it's 3 points is what everybody wants from this match, and a depleted team coming to your backyard, also on a short week. It's 3 points or bust, in all honesty. And like I said, I want to see a team that's aggressive at home, that needs to remind teams that this is not a place you should be looking forward to coming to play at. Because I think right now, the way this team has been playing before the Saturday match, if you're a team that's coming to Frisco, you're like licking your chops at playing FC Dallas, and that needs to change.
Yeah, especially at home. These matches are so crucial. I think if the team is going to try to claw their way back into playoff contention, and there's time to do it. Well, look, because we're having so many technical issues, we're going to leave it here. We're going to enjoy the match Wednesday. Y'all can go enjoy the Mavs when they rally and find a way to win. We'll see. We'll see how it goes Wednesday. I mean, I think the way he shouted out Siki, I think Siki might get a start and give Delgado a little rest. I think there's options for him without tweaking it too much, but just bringing in some fresh legs, rotating some guys. But he kept Jesus fresh. So, Moose is going to need a rest at some point. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles all this. But
Lara Mendy is going to need some rest. So, yeah, I expect some rotation.
All right, we're going to leave the show there. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Luke, for the comments and for the feedback.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to figure it out. We've had some technical issues. May need to plug in and unplug some stuff, but I'll try to fix up the audio in the post. After we finish up. So, all right.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Good night. Go Mavs. Go
Good night.
Dallas.